Welcome. We're going to pick things up here. We're going to continue on with the magazine layout here. Looking at my sketches, I've got my sketches here. So I've got my this guy here. I got to put in like a black or a shape here. I've got my, you can see my text. Let's add in the title right now. Okay, so now the title can evolve. You can see that I've got taking better photographs. So that was just an idea of what I want to do. I want to make the title loose, so I'm going to do it with 3 different text boxes. That way I can do it a little more designish. So let's actually just use taking. I'm going to do that in all caps. And let's go. I'm going to go with Garamond. Garamond bold. Do I want regular? And let's make it about, like I'm guessing like about 70. Okay, that's about right. Okay, so I've got this one here. Now, and again, I want to keep it nice and loose looking, so I'm going to do it with different text boxes. Now, I've already gone through the work of making that that font and that size, so I'm just going to go copy and paste it back down. And actually, but I'm going to do better in lower caps. I'm going to mix it up, and I'll show you why. So let's do that, and then I'm going to do this one. Now, holding down the Alt key or the Option key, if I do that, I can just drag and it makes a new copy. And I'm going to do photographs. All right, and now obviously what's happened there is that the text box is too small, so I'm just going to make the text box bigger. Whoops. There we go, making better photographs. I might change that to photos. So I'm not going to worry about my text right now. I'm going to bring that down. And I'm actually, sometimes that working with all these lines gets kind of in the way. So I'm going to work in preview mode. So let's just go to preview mode. Also, if I just hit the letter W, if I don't have like a text box selected or like the type tool selected, I hit the letter W, then you can toggle between preview and that. So let's start messing up here. Let's see. I'm going to use the free transform tool here, and let's just make that bigger. I'm going to span my title over top of the 2 pages, and I realize that I'm going over the fold. And so what you would normally do, and I'm not sure that this is what I'm going to do, so it's one of the last things that you would do. If I would do like photo, what I would do is I would just use the Alt and the right arrow key and add maybe a little bit more space in between type for the sake of that fold. Otherwise, you're not going to read it, or like this part of the O and this part of the G will blend into each other. So you just kind of cheat it like that. But I'm not going to. Control Zing that. And so let's make that bigger here, better. And how am I going to do this? Let's see. I think, what if I go like that, and then I put that down there? We're starting to look a little bit better. And maybe, I think that's too big. So let's go back to my free transform. I could either do it with the free transform, or I could be going into here and just changing the size of the text up there. But because they're just one-offs, I think that I'm okay with getting away with that. I want to make sure things are lining up with my grid. If I go here, I want to make sure that is following my grid there. Okay, and then, but that is going to go there. This B, I'm going to tuck that in between the B. I like the way that's working. I'm going to make the letter spacing Option left arrow, just to do the type like that. And I'm going to tuck this better and photographs up here like that. Okay, now this is awkward here. I can't continue that. So what I need to do, let's fix our, I'm just gonna, I just like a little bit of letter spacing, just fixing up my letter spacing there. That looks a little bit better. And so maybe what I'm going to do is just take all of them, holding down the Shift key to select them all, free transform, and maybe I'll just have them all just sit within the one page. Okay, so either one of the two things, either have photo and graphs over here, or but it wasn't working. I could do something like that, but this space is awkward here, so I could also change it to better. If I wanted to actually make it bigger, I could just change it to photos and do something like that too. But if I was doing that for a real job, I would need to get the permission of the person who's writing the article. Okay, so that's working for me now. That's my head. Let's just move that down, and with that I know that I'm going to make this picture a little bit bigger now, just because there's a little bit more space here. So I already have my box and my container box, so I'm just going to enlarge the picture within that. So I'm going to click on the white arrow tool and make that a bit bigger, or just moving that right now. As well, I think I'm going to bump that up to 100. And now that gives me a bit more room. Okay, so that works out good. Okay, so we've just added the title to our magazine.